Okay, everybody, just wanted to show you my brand new Trane 14 SEER 3-ton heat pump that we just finished installing yesterday. And the guys that bought it from and had them install it was Nathan Neal's Heating and Air, or Neal's Heating and Air out of Lafayette, Georgia. And I just wanted to show you the unit itself and point out some of the things we did during the installation that helped us out a lot. And it really turned out to be pretty good. The guys at Neal's Heating and Air done an outstanding job, installing the unit. And they was more than willing to bend over backwards to do some of the things I wanted them to do. So let's just go through it, and I'll point some stuff out for you. First of all, the unit's sitting here running right now, I'm just a few feet away from it. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but this unit runs so quiet. It is so smooth. When we're inside the house, we can't even tell when the unit kicks on or when it's running unless we just reach down at one of the vents and feel the air coming out. So first of all, that was a big plus. Now, one of the other things that we did was when they installed the box here that is protecting the flexible ducting going under the house. My old unit, the way they didn't have a box, they had I call it a shroud. On my old unit, the shroud just covered across the top of the flexible ducting and down both sides of it, but it didn't have any protection for the ducting underneath. What the guys did from Neal's Heating and Air, they built a complete box. They've got a bottom piece, and I'll show it to you here, that's protecting the ducting from underneath. And they did a really nice job of fixing the box to the unit over here, and done a real nice job of flushing it up against the house so there's no big gaps, no openings that little critters can get in and go in there and do some damage to my ducting and stuff. Now, the other thing that we did was we split the power coming into the unit. Now, this is the original box that was here when I had my old unit hooked up, and this is the new box that they installed. And they actually went in and we pulled a new wire from my utility room, which is on the front side of the house all the way over to the other end, and run that new wire to the box here. And what that does is the old box with its breakers, and it's supplying power to the compressor and basically the air conditioner side of the unit over here, while the new box with its breaker is supplying power to the heating side over here. Now, what that does is it ensures that, especially that compressor and all components inside the unit, are being covered and protected by the breakers here. Now, the other thing was, with my old unit, and this is the way I've seen most of these heat pumps and stuff installed, they'll have a single wire coming from the breaker box with a single cutoff box right here. Now, that wire coming from the breaker box, it's gauged to handle the load that these units can pull. But especially when you're in heat mode, and if you're in heat mode with your compressor runs even when it's in heat mode. So you got the compressor running and you got all the heating elements and stuff here going. So that one wire is pulling its max load during that time. And with pulling the extra wire, we split the load between the two wires. And with the old way of hooking it up with that single one wire, and my house used to do it, and I've been to other people's houses that used to do it. When the air conditioning unit would kick on, or when the heat pump would kick on, you'd have that light dimming effect. That where your lights would dim for a few seconds, then it would all catch up. I don't have that now. Plus, it's just a safety issue. Whereas you have the less power being drawn through one single wire, the better off you are. So we split that power the power that one wire was carrying. Now we split it where 2 wires are carrying, so each wire is not carrying as much of a load. The fact that Neil was wanting to do that, and I questioned him a lot about it because it did cost me a little bit of extra money, but when compared to the other estimates that I got, which I'll talk to you about the estimates in a little bit, he was still cheaper than some of the guys that gave me estimates, and he done more work. And the fact that he did this tells me that number one, he was concerned about our safety and the safety of the house, and number two, he was concerned about the unit and making sure that all components in the unit are covered or protected by these breakers. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is that we went from our old unit, a 10 SEER unit, to a 14 SEER unit. And by our calculations, we figured this 14 SEER unit is probably going to save us at least $30 to $40 on our electric bill every month. That's number one thing. This unit is much quieter than the old unit. The old unit was pretty good, but it was around 16 years old. It was starting to nickel and dime me to death. Every year something was going wrong with it. Just this past year alone, I replaced a capacitor, replaced a condenser fan motor, and replaced the defrost board, that thing. So, it was time to go, especially with the fact that I have 2 people with asthma that lives in my house, one of them being my wife, and my mother-in-law lives here with us also. So if it was summertime, it's 95 degrees outside and our air conditioner goes out, it was really hard on me. I don't have to worry about that now because this thing comes with a 1-year labor warranty and a 10-year parts warranty, which also covers the compressor. The other thing was we seriously considered going with a 15 SEER unit instead of a 14 SEER. The SEER is your seasonal energy efficiency rating, and the higher SEER rating you have, the more efficient the unit. But here's what we found out. We took out our calculators and we did the calculations, and this is what we found out. The 15 SEER unit was going to cost roughly around $800, I think it was $840, $850 more than this 14 SEER unit. Okay, and by doing our calculations, we figured out that it was going to take that 15 SEER unit 5 years to pay back the price difference between the 15 SEER unit and this 14 SEER unit. The 14 SEER unit also, it's the same quality, it comes with the same workmanship, comes with the absolute same warranties and everything. So going with the 15 SEER unit just wasn't worth it to us. And I wanted to point that out to you because everybody, they kind of get in this idea, well, the higher SEER, the better off you are, and the more money you're going to save. Well, it's kind of true, but it was going to take that 15 SEER unit 5 years to pay off the price difference to it. So, like I said, it just wasn't worth it. The other thing that we did is that we did some extensive work on the return duct and the return grill. So I'm going to take you inside here and I'm going to show you what we had to do. And as you can see, my next honey-do list is to build a new deck back here. But I'm going to take you in here and I'm going to show you this return grill. And the reason why we had to do some very extensive work is because the original owners of the house who built the house and everything done a really stupid installation on that old return. I don't even call it a grill because there wasn't no grill to it. It's just a return opening. And they installed it in a linen closet that had a louvered door. Now, on the front of it. Now, here's the louvered door that we took off. I'll show that thing to you here in a second. But coming in here to the linen closet here, as you can see, it was a normal size closet. Goes all the way from up here almost to the ceiling. Comes all the way from there all the way down. Now, what you're looking at here is the new box that we built. The old way it was set up, all this was open in here, and we just had a louvered door that went across the front of the linen closet here. Okay, now, with all this being open, the old return opening, I'll say, was down in the bottom of the closet, and it was at roughly a 45 degree angle. But that old return opening was so big that we couldn't find the filters that fit it correctly. So we'd always have to use them old cutout filters and everything to put over it. It was just a real pain in the butt. So the other thing, with it just being a louvered door here, and that opening down there at the bottom, the unit outside is pulling air out of the house through this louvered door that was up here into this open closet. Okay? And this was the result. If you look up here and you see all this dust and dirt and all this other stuff up here, because there was no filter on the back side of that louvered door, it was just a regular louvered door. So all the dust, along with the air coming from the house, all the dust and stuff that was in the air accumulated inside this closet. And my wife, she would come in here and clean this out and everything, and come back a week later, and it would look, it would have a bunch of dirt and stuff and a bunch of dust built up in there. So while we was putting in a new unit, we decided we was going to correct that. And here's how we corrected it. The guys from Neil's Heating and Air, they come in and built this box right here for me, and they did an absolutely outstanding job. And I'm going to open up the grill. First of all, this is a nice grill right here. It's out here flush with the wall the way it should have been originally. And I'm going to open it up here so you can see the craftsmanship. And the other thing was, we've got a normal size filter right here, which is a 20 by 30 filter. You can find this in Lowe's, Home Depot, any hardware store, and I think you can even buy them at Walmart now. Now, going inside here with the box that they built, I just want you to see the craftsmanship. They went in and they sheet metaled everything, put a new floor pan in down here, a new hookup. It's got a brand new flexible ducting going from here all the way out to the unit. They sealed all the crevices, all the joints and stuff here, so that there's no air going to escape here. Just a real nice job. Everything from this point on going out to the unit is brand new. So basically they did a new installation here on this return grill, and you can see that this thing's fairly easy to operate, just like any other grill, and just pin it up like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to put all my new trim up here, put me a new door up here. I'm going to make this a linen cabinet instead of a linen closet the way it was. And I'm going to come in and put some new drywall in here, possibly some trim too. I'm going to drywall this across the bottom right here, put replace this, put a whole new baseboard and everything in here. And I'm just going to trim it up, tidy it up, make it look real nice, and make it look the way it should have originally looked. It's already functioning the way it should have functioned before, but they just did a real nice job here. And this was one of the issues that I had a lot of talk with Nathan that owns Neil's Heating and Air. I basically tried to describe to him what I want. He listened very well, and had his guys come out, briefed his guys on what I wanted, and this is what they did. Outstanding job. Now, coming back to the louvered door. This thing, look how nasty this thing is. And again, my wife would clean this thing and come back a week later and it would just be dirty again. Plus, this was just not a very good setup. Now, again, the louvered door was covering across the linen closet, and the unit that's drawing air out of the house was drawing air through the louvers in this door. Okay, along with all the air came all the dust, and you see the results of it. And I'm going to show you something here. Even down here, when you go up in between the louvers here, it's just, look at that. It was just a terrible setup, and it was hard for us to clean up in these louvers here. So, you know, this was the result. And it was just a dumb, stupid setup that they did. But since we was having a new unit put in, we corrected all of that. And like I say, the guys that come out here and did the installation just did an absolutely fantastic job. And I'm going to walk back outside here because it's just a beautiful day out here in northwest Georgia. And I wanted to kind of let you see the unit from a distance. You can kind of hear it from a distance here. But basically what I was going to tell you is that we did this installation, and the fact that Nathan Neal's guys that come out here, they listened to what I told them, listened to what I wanted. They bent over backwards to accommodate me. They even made some suggestions themselves that improved the job and everything. So the fact that Nathan up there listened to what I had to say, and his men come out here, they listened to what I had to say and listened to what I wanted, just made the job so much easier. Now, going back to the estimates that I took on this job, as I told you before, I took estimates, and I took 4 estimates on this job. Now, Nathan was not the cheapest guy. He wasn't the most expensive guy, but like I said, he wasn't the cheapest guy neither. But one thing that he was kind of in the middle there, and I went back and talked with him, and we worked some stuff out, and I actually made him one of the cheaper guys that I took the estimates from. But the real reason that I picked his company is because basically when they come out here and they gave me the estimate, I basically interviewed them. And if you're looking to do this kind of work, that's what you need to do. You need to interview the people that's going to be doing the work for you. And just by talking to him, explaining to him what I was wanting with the return grill and everything in there, he listened very well, and I knew that we would be able to work together on this job. So I just want to tell everybody, that if you're looking at doing this type of work, number one, get the estimates. And you necessarily don't have to go with the cheapest guy, and you sure enough don't want to go with the expensive guy. But like I was telling you, Nathan at Neal's Heating and Air, they wasn't the cheapest company, but they sure enough wasn't the most expensive company. But they by far was the ones that I felt would work with me the most doing this project. And they did an outstanding installation job. I was so happy with it and everything. I plan on probably in about a month or two coming back and letting you know how the unit's doing. And so I'll do a total review on the unit in about a month or two. But until then, hey, y'all enjoy the summer, and I look forward to getting back with you in a couple of months and letting you know how this thing's going. See you later. Bye.